If you just look at the institutional push into Bitcoin, this new asset class, they have to consider it as fiduciaries. When you use those code words, new asset class, what it means, the correlation of these returns are very low compared to those of other assets.
Especially as bonds and stocks are becoming more correlated, you need something uncorrelated.
Yes, absolutely. And so they have to consider it. Now, what are we saying? There are 19.6 million Bitcoin out there right now, and the highest it will ever go is 21 million. Okay, there's real scarcity value. And what is going to happen? The price increase for every institutional dollar pushing in now is going to be much higher than it was last year, 2 years ago. It's, we're going to get into, if these institutions really want to own it, what I found fascinating recently, just learned it this morning, is typically when you go through a price move, a Bitcoin price move to the upside, you usually see long-term holders, which is a metric we monitor. It's an on-chain analytics metric. And it means people who have not moved, or wallets that have not moved their Bitcoin in 155 days or more. Yes. Well, normally when you go through a price move to the upside, a very nice one like we've seen in the last year, that tends to start moving down. And it did that, true to form, but it has reversed in recent days because what we learned is GBTC sold some of its Bitcoin. So those wallets hadn't been changed in a long time, right? Now that is done, at least for the time being. Now that is done, and it's going back up again as the price goes up. That's highly unusual. And I think it is because the long-term holder is saying, why would I sell now when I know all these institutions, which own nothing in this realm, in this new asset class, they have to consider it because it is a new asset class.
I have friends of mine who are just setting up their Bitcoins so they can borrow against it. No one wants to sell. Everyone is convinced it's on an uptick. And so I want to hit you a couple of questions here. A friend of mine who Bill Barhydt, who's the CEO of Abra, right, is when the last man standing. He's done an amazing job. What do you think of as the future of DeFi and the future of banking with regard to this?
Yes, and first let me tell you a little story about Bill. In 2017, when Bitcoin was below $1,000, and there was a war going on between the Bitcoin maximalists and those focused on the Ethereum network. Chris Berniski, you may know him. He was our first crypto analyst and went off to start Placeholder. He decided, you know what? We should have a meetup at our office between the Bitcoin and Ethereum supporters, and we'll provide rules of the we'll provide rules of the road. And Bill was the grown-up in the room, set the tone from the Ethereum side, and we had such a productive talk that I went out and bought Ether right away. I already owned a lot of Bitcoin because it was so convincing that there's a place for both. And
Bill is a brilliant adult in this space. Yes, for sure.
Yes. And so yes, we're very excited about the Ethereum network and Solana. And so they all play different roles. And what I love is there's kind of a little competition. I think competition is always good to keep the other networks honest. And so, yes, we think that decentralized finance, and we do call it now the internet financial system, which is really Chris Berniski coined that. Yes.
I like that because it really talks about the functionality more than this ethereal idea. it is the financial backbone, and it's really the dematerialized and democratized access to taking action in the world.
Absolutely. And taking the middlemen out of everything. You know, when
get
we
the sand out of the gears.
Yeah, when we did our digital wallet work, you know, we're saying, okay, let's try to figure out how many steps it takes for a merchant or for a consumer to pay a merchant. And that was 9 steps, including the 2 of them. And that's, and, you know, there are many other middlemen, but these were the most direct steps. And that is a 2 to 4% tax on every purchase in the world if you're using intermediaries, credit cards, and so forth. So just think about that. Cutting, you know, that tax rate dramatically is going to increase access dramatically.